Hey, good afternoon, guys. Aaron Dorr here with Wyoming Gun Owners. Guys, if you have not heard the news, let me have the pleasure of telling you. Earlier today, the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals in Denver ruled in WYGO's favor that the state of Wyoming's campaign finance law is unconstitutional, guys. It's a major victory for the First Amendment, for the Second Amendment, and the members of Wyoming Gun Owners. I'm traveling today, but I wanted to pull over and give you guys a brief update with a much larger, more comprehensive breakdown of this victory in a day or so. But here's where things are right now. So everyone remembers how we got here, right? 2020, the rhinos in Cheyenne tried to pass Fix NICS mental health gun control. It was basically a form of red flag gun seizures. WYGO members crushed that legislation before session even began, and then WYGO members, after our organization exposed these backstabbing rhinos, WYGO members threw them out of office all across the state. All across the state, Republicans who supported gun control lost their elections in the primaries in 2020. No surprise, the rhinos in Cheyenne didn't like that very much. They didn't like it that Wyoming's biggest gun rights organization had enough power to inflict that kind of damage when they attacked our Second Amendment freedoms. And so naturally, they brought a bogus complaint up to, at that time, the Secretary of State was Ed Buchanan. And everyone knows, if you knew Ed Buchanan, that guy was a wholly owned, wholly bought and paid for part of the machine in Cheyenne. And so Buchanan was only too happy to tell us that our choices were simple. We could bend the knee and surrender the names of all of our members to his database, or we could pay a civil fine. And so we chose to pay the civil fine to make sure that we had the ability to go to court and say, this is absolute BS. And that's what we did. So if you remember this, February of a year ago, we were in Casper, had oral arguments in district court, and Judge Skavdal ruled in our favor in almost every issue that we raised. But Ed Buchanan didn't like that. So before he left office, he appealed his smashing defeat to the circuit court. And those arguments were held in January of this year. And again, moments ago, the 10th Circuit came back. And I want to be clear on this. The 10th Circuit is considered the nation's best, as in most conservative court in the country when it comes to campaign finance law. There is no better court to have this case heard in. They came back and agreed with us that the way Wyoming was trying to apply their campaign finance law, particularly the disclosure requirement, was patently unconstitutional. The law has been struck down as it applies to Wyoming gun owners. It is a massive victory, because what this means is that we are free to do what we have always done, which is expose anti-gun rhinos at election time and make sure that you and everybody else here in Wyoming knows exactly where these gun grabbers stand at election time. If we don't defend our First Amendment rights, we can't protect our Second Amendment rights. But the other issue here, the other victory here, which is so awesome, is that this is a binding decision now in this circuit. So every state in the 10th Circuit will now be subject to this opinion from the 10th Circuit. If you guys don't know this, a year ago, the Supreme Court issued a huge campaign finance law case called Bonta versus California. And Bonta versus AFP. And it was the state of California, the AG's name was Bonta, who was coming after other conservative 501c4s with similar disclosure requirements. Supreme Court took that case and gave a massive repudiation of the tyrannical approach of the state of California. But what you need to have after a Supreme Court opinion is circuit courts all across the country to apply that opinion, that decision from the Supreme Court at the local level. And there has not yet been a application of the Bonta decision in the 10th Circuit until today. And so now the 10th Circuit has used WYGO's case to further extend or further apply the Bonta decision, not just here in Wyoming, but every state in the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. Again, guys, it's a massive victory, because if we ever lose our ability to criticize our government, especially at election time, we will quickly have no Second Amendment rights left. I want to thank everybody here at WYGO, all the members and supporters who've given us so much of your resources to fight this battle in court. Without you guys, it never would have even got off the ground. We want to thank the Institute for Free Speech. They were massively helpful to us in this endeavor and carried the litigation in both circuit court and district court. And again, guys, I just want to thank all of you for all of your ongoing support for Wyoming gun owners. There's a reason, right, why the rhinos here in Cheyenne hate us so much. It's because we are not like every other butt-kissing gun rights organization that shows up in Cheyenne once in a blue moon. We are here on the ground, holding these guys accountable during session and especially during election season. Of course, they hate us for it, and that's why they came after us. They wouldn't listen to us when we told them this law was BS. They didn't want to listen to Judge Skavdal when he said it was BS. Maybe now the state of Wyoming will listen to the 10th Circuit, who said, yes, this law is unconstitutional. Guys, again, we're going to have a larger breakdown on this ruling in a day or two. But this is our quick take on this right now. Share the video, guys, on social media. And again, join the fight today at joinwygo.com. Thank you.